Hey, what up, YouTube? Remember me, the greatest trader on earth? That's right. Well, the greatest trader on earth has a position on of 973,000 shares of open table now, even though it's not open table. I'm trying to talk over the goddamn things over there. Anyway, if you guys were with us at the schmooze, right? What did we talk about yesterday, right? Lulu, right? Lulu, one of the worst stocks on the planet right now. Even that stock managed to do the faux show bro VWAP break, and you got paid about 8 or 9 points on it. I don't know if you can even hear me over this, but hang on a second. Dear Lord. So if getting my ass kicked as a shorter hasn't taught me that the market never goes down, it's also taught me how to isolate short squeezes and know what a pump and dump looks like, right? Obviously crushed it on the Newegg, right? Actually turned into a decent long the last 2 days. But more importantly, this open, OPEN. I don't like when everyone's excited about something. Usually to me, that's bearish. It's called overcrowded, right? Not in this market. In this market, a lot of the stuff that screamed bearish to me back in the day, first of all, that doesn't work anymore because the market hardly ever goes down, right? But usually I would shun, fuck this open. Hell no. I'm in. And today we came in long. Yesterday was the 587 double top break, held it overnight. Came in long. It was above 620. 620 was the aftermarket, area. Got the 650, dumped it. It spiked another 25 cents after I got out, standard procedure. But then the miracle happened. Or is it a miracle? When a stock is being accumulated, the algorithms try to shake and fake you out, otherwise known as the faux show bro, right? So talk to me, Goose. What are you doing with your lives, right? So if you want to be a negative Nancy about it, like I usually am, because I don't like it. Let me hear me out here, right? I don't like when it's this popular. Like everyone's talking about this stock, right? And they've been talking about it for weeks. And you know what? The last 50, I've been on this thing before anybody, right? I was on this thing because it was coming out of the Andy Dufresne, and then we had this great trade on it, and then suddenly it became everybody's favorite stock. So I've been hip to this game before anybody, right? But then you got the pump, right? And then you got the dump, and then you got the pump. But this last pump, it was so like social media, it just ugh, I didn't like it, right? And then after it spiked to the 587 and came down, I was shorting it. Those last go. I was buying the pops, selling the rollovers. But then the other day, it faux show broed, no joke, 6 times in one day. What that means is 6 individual times. I think it was 4 days ago. This big green day. They were literally just dropping bids, trying to get people out, bringing the bid back, dropping bids, trying to shake people out, and you could see it. They were literally shaking the trees, getting the weak hands out. So I was like, you know what? If they're trying this hard to make the stock go down right now, it's definitely going up, and that's part of the manipulation. But then you take that under advisement, right? And you say, all right, they're fucking around. All right, cool. You ain't gonna fool me. But at the same time, you still trade VWAP. So, here's the last 2 days of open. And I'll give it on a 5-minute chart so you can see it. The 587 break was the double top break. 587, 587, 587. Yesterday. Sorry, was it the 576? Maybe I'm having dyslexia right now. I'm pretty sure it was 587. Where's my 587? No, 587. The reason I know, wait a minute, I know it is. I got to, let me just go back here. The 587 had been the high for that last spike, right? So it was this high break. Yeah, 587. Yeah, that's so when it broke the 587, I'm like, you know what? I got to get in. I got to buy it on this break. And, I held it overnight. But today was the reason today was so special, right? Is that they did it again. I hope you can hear me over this thing because I got so much noise in the background. What you're looking at right here, that's artwork. But that also tells you that the buyers are still here. They just need to shake you out, right? And when the fake out goes back to prior day VWAP, look at the freaking price. So I'm sitting here, and I mean, it's just absolutely sickening. I'm sitting there looking to buy the 587. It got to 590, 3 cents away. I got a 5,000 share bid at 587. I wound up just buying it over here finally on this last faux show, bro. I got in at 638. I just sold 650 to 665, and I'm still in a little bit because if it makes another turn and runs for the border on options expiration, breaking a big fat whole number like 7, this thing could go up another $1 today. And if you go back and look at the long-term chart on it, I mean, this thing has been a piece of shit for 5 years. So when these piece of shit stocks come back, it's fantastic. That's why I love bear markets, because you get the Andy Dufresne's and it's a lot easier to tell where you're going to go because you've been there before. That's why you need some freaking bearishness in the market. Shake it up. Give me a chance to buy something on a dip or whatever. But more importantly, you need some bear markets every once in a while so you get the sideways action like your Carvanas and your AMDs and everything else. But yeah, man, I'm completely brainwashed now. This has been my favorite stock for weeks. I'm even thinking about owning it over the weekend, as long as it closes over VWAP today. But I mean, look at this beautiful move. And I was planning on buying 1,000 contracts. If it would have went under 587, I was thinking, here, check this out. So the 2-day VWAP, ooh, so close. So I figured 587 was going to break. They'd shake it down to maybe the 581, or even better, I was hoping maybe really just, really shake the trees down to close to 550, then turn, and we would have been able to buy some 6s cheap. Now I'm thinking about buying 7s, which is the last thing I really want to do. But I'm just in the stock right now. You're not getting me out of the stock. Right now 587 or 590 at this point, but I'm using 587, which is my entry price from yesterday. No way am I getting out of this thing, because there's going to be a gap and go. I mean, if you look at this thing, look at it on just the 10-year. You'll get on a monthly. You'll get to see the whole picture. Look at this thing, right? This thing, you're looking at $8. You're looking right here. That's 814. You get into this. I know these are monthly candles, but it's pretty accurate. If you look on a 10-year weekly, you'll see it a little bit better, right? Watch this. Right? There's that price. There's the rejection. That's where this thing wants to go. Basically what is that? $8.14. But if it gets through that, the bottom of the range where it held last time is the top of this range. That's $10 and that's $10.25. You gotta be in. You gotta be in. And if you're trading options, what are you gonna lose? You're not gonna lose much. I'm thinking about buying, the dumbest thing you could do is buy an option on a Friday for next week. I'm thinking about doing it because the last thing I want to see is this thing gapped up to 780 on Monday and start ripping at $10 without me. So I got to have something. I'm probably just going to hold the stock. But I mean, I never ever thought this was going to work because everybody was talking about it. And usually when everybody's involved, it doesn't work. I mean, every message board, people I don't even know. And I just got back from the Colorado wedding. Am I wearing the Colorado hat? No. I just got back from this wedding in Colorado, and this guy, I haven't, some of my cousins, I haven't seen him in years. They're talking about the stock. I'm like, no way do you know about Open. There it is. I'm telling you, anything above 587, you got to be super bullish. But listen, y'all, like I said, and by the way, let me just say a little bit about free trials and track records and all that stuff. I'm being really sincere here. Seriously, I know there's a couple of guys out there. You try every time I do something for free, you're there, right? So obviously you respect me, and you understand that I know what I'm doing, right? But don't be a nudnik trying to like sneak in the back door. You know, if you want to join, right? And then I actually got an email yesterday of a guy who was angry that I guess he wasn't allowed to be a part of something that was free, as if he was entitled. Come on, man, have some respect for me, right? I do this 8 hours a day. I try to help you guys out by having the greatest business model in the world. Within a couple of weeks, you should know that we know what we're doing. And when people say, "Oh, what do I get with your room?" You get two guys that have been doing this, or I've been doing it for 30 years. The guy that my assistant here, Solid, he's a shining beacon of hope for everybody because he didn't know any of this before I showed it to him, and now he's the master. Anyway, seriously, join up because I'm doubling the rates because we're working way too hard, and I'd rather have a pay one price and then you get all the good stuff than do a la carte. But this is why I want to make the video. If you're out there and you don't want to learn and you just want a few ideas a day, would you be interested in me creating that service? Because I'm building it right now. But if nobody cares, then why would I build it? So if you're interested, so I'm thinking, we do two ideas a day. You get a video sent to you like this. So I'll work up the video. Like for instance, today was Lulu, right? So this morning you would have got your video as your email, and I would describe what we're thinking about doing with the Lulu. You'd get my chart, right? And I would tell you exactly what we're looking to do. And then it worked. And this one trade would have paid for the, again, if you could swing 1,000 shares, you would have paid for your entire year on one trade. But even just a measly 300 or 400 shares, Faux Show Bro VWAP break, my entry point was 167.50. I bought the 167.50 break right here, sold 170, 172.50. I left some money on the table, but that's what I do best. Bottom line, these trades, now it's 1,097 in a row, right? Trading earnings. So what was the other one? It was AVGO, right? Gapped up stock, breaks the VWAP, breaks the little pivot. You short it using VWAP as your stop, and you got yourself an 8-point trade. It's 13 points right there. Just a couple of hundred shares of both those trades. Bang! You just paid for everything. So what I'm thinking about doing, like I said, I'm gonna build the chart, send you a voiceover chart, because I think that's the only right way to. Right's not the right way, I guess. It's the only way. Because, for instance, if you get a text message, Kenny's buying Lulu, $267.50. You go to your screen, it's already at $269.50. So what do? You don't know what to do, right? And then imagine you got a text message. Oh, Kenny's buying Lulu. You buy it, and then the next thing you say is that we've already sold it, and now we're short. And you're like, what? Wait a minute, I didn't get that message. So what I want to do is I want to just send you the video with the chart and a little voicemail with it saying, here's what we're thinking about doing. If this goes here, then you're doing this. And it basically, you're in the room, but not in the room. What do you think? Good idea? $400, $1,500 for the year, $400 a quarter, right? It's a fair price. A couple of picks a day. You don't have to be in the chat room. You could choose which one you like best. I'll try to do 2 a day. You get a little video, and then later in the afternoon, I'll send you the text just to make sure you're not doing anything stupid. Like, hey, we're out of that Lulu. I hope you are too. It hit our price. Then I could send you the text message. And I think I'm going to do it. I think the easiest way to do it is I'm going to build, either I'm going to build the entire alert system, or I'm just going to have you go to log into a site where the video is being housed. And I think that's what we'll do. And it'll be, again, I think it'll be great because you'll get an idea of what we do all day. You'll get a little education, right? And you're getting my 2 best ideas of the day. So that's my next plan. By the way, speaking of that, I hope you guys are watching my podcast because it's been a lot of fun. We've been talking with my new best buddy, Chris, otherwise known as the Don. And yeah, that's that. But man, this has been by far the greatest trading. It's epic. It really is epic because, and again, today's kind of boring right after we got done with our trades, but that's part of it. If you come in with a plan, right, and that plan works, congratulations. And by the way, shout out to Falzun X. He's coming back, and I will be. And again, I know I said this out. I'm going to be hiring soon because my son's done. My son's getting a real job. I hope. He's been interviewing in the financial industry. I think he's getting a job, and he's getting a job in the back office, trade reconciliation. So he's going to work himself up from the back office, get to know what goes on in the guts of trading. And then inevitably, maybe he'll inevitably become a trader. But you know what? I don't want this for him right now. It's the easiest, hardest thing you'll do. And the way I was yelling at my kid when he would make a mistake, I would take all the anxiety and all the frustration and all the rage. I would just take it out on him. And it wasn't fair. Because I was like, I don't even know the other day I was just yelling at him because I missed the trade. I just blamed him. He's like, what the fuck are you yelling at? I was like, what'd you say? I'm gonna fucking kill you. I was like, you know what? This is not good. I don't want to be fighting with you over bullshit like stupid trades. It was gonna ruin our relationship. I have a really good relationship with my kid. But if it's one of you guys, I got no problem yelling and cursing and making fun of your mothers. So, by next quarter, I want to have this thing, running where the idea is I'm trading stock, my assistant's trading options, and then I need another guy just watching the algo because the algo is scanning, 30 or 40 names. And if I'm not watching it, then I miss it. So, and if you want to know what VWAP is, really, woo, VWAP, volume weighted average price. Yeah, it's the only way to trade. It's all I use. It's an algorithmic indication of buying and selling. And it's fan-freaking-tastic. Oh, speaking of fan-freaking-tastic, hello. You guys are in the mob still, right? I own 2 stocks now. Mob Sorry, 3, I guess. Clove. My portfolio consists of Clove at 250, Mob at 250, and SRAD at 2250. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. Hey, listen, it doesn't want to die. It doesn't want to die. Space rockets, robots. Well, everything else is a trade for me right now because I'm holding on to this idea that we actually are going to get a deeper correction, and then I'm going to get into I'm going to get back into the Palantir. Probably I'll get back into some other stuff, but ASTS looks like it wants to go back to 30 something. I'm interested in that. Oh, I just finally got out, and I got stopped out at my swing trade at NVTS today. What a dog! That was a big waste of time. But huge fan. I'm pseudo bullish bearish right now because of I'm just waiting to see if seasonality kicks in. But Tuesday's sell off right now might have been the new generational lows. This market does not want to go down, and I don't think it should go down. A lot of people are thinking, oh, we've rallied so much. Have we? Or did we just start a new bull market in May? It's only September. So May, June, July, August, September. Bull markets last more than 5 months. Usually they last 2.5, 3 years. That's why I think that after this consolidation, we're going to be looking at, 625, 625, 630 easy on the Qs going into the end of the year. And there is no reason not to be bullish. There really isn't. Valuations it's not the same conversation as it used to be. Valuation, it's relative. If everybody wants in, there's no way to value anything anymore. And there's too many people that want them to be involved. Think about every kid, like my son, his friends. They all have DraftKings and Robinhood. DraftKings and some trading app. They're into crypto. Every day, there's more and more people that want to be involved. They don't care that the Qs are 574, up 174 points in the last 6 months. They want in. They want in. And that's the end of the story. They want in. Right? Open, right? There you go. Right? Nobody cares that you missed the stock from 50 cents, right? Where's it going now? $8. Make that money. Especially after two faux show bros, right? See, that's the one lesson I learned from my wife after me bitching and moaning to her for 25 years, right? I'd come out of my office, she'd be on the couch, and she'd be like, oh, look at that dumb face. Let me guess. You bought a stock, you sold it for a small profit, now it's going up without you, right? Yeah. How do you know? Because of your dumb face. And then she would say, do you think it's going higher? Yeah. Well, then buy it back. And I would say, well, I just sold it. I don't want to buy it back. It's higher from where I sold it. Do you still think it's going higher? Yes. Well, then buy it back. Oh, man. That's the name of the game. You got to suck it up and say, you know what? Fuck. I sold it. Well, you know what? It's still going to 8. It doesn't care about me whether I buy. Like, most traders were so demented that, like, oh, if I buy it back now, it's definitely going to go down. The stock doesn't know that you're buying it. It's in your head. Stock doesn't give a shit about you. New highs, by the way. I mean, I'm sitting here. You don't understand. I was so freaking close. I mean, this is like my life is like I'm like the donkey with the carrot. I'm so close to having the monster trade, and yet it's so damn elusive. No joke. I was 3 cents away from buying 5,000 shares, and that was just going to start. I was going to be buying, I had 12,000 shares earlier. I was going to buy like 50,000 shares of this thing, but it had to be at my price. And then I hesitated and I hesitated. And then I got just sick. But right now, man, if you got, if you got those 650s, hell yeah, brother. I mean, I had a bid for 100 contracts at 9 cents. They got to 13. 13. Ah, so close. But yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason not to be involved in this thing. And normally I don't join in with the frenzies. The stock has proved its worth to me a dozen times over the last month and a half. There's nothing not to like. But here's the fun part, kids. Inevitably, I would bet my life that the stock's going to be at zero. Inevitably, this stock will be at zero. Zero. They do nothing. This is a worthless company, right? So when it inevitably does dump and it breaks back under that 250, zero. So anyway, if you guys are in the city, a friend of mine's doing a charity event September 10th, Hanover Square. I don't know if there's a way I could show this to you. Actually, I could. Let me see if I could share this link with you. But if you guys are in the tri-state area, Tom Whiff, if you know who this guy is, big player in the financial industry. He's also a guitarist. He's in a band. They do Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner, Grateful Dead, that kind of thing. They're doing a charity event at there's a little what you call it, like a 9/11 memorial in the city off by Hanover Street. So if you guys want to hang out, donate to the cause, get a T-shirt out of it. Yeah, I'll show it to you. Bum, 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 over my mind. Where'd it go? There you go, if you could see that. Their name is Hell or High Water. And yeah, if you're in the city, meet me down there. And then we'll go for some guacamole and some vodka on Stone Street. But on that note, yeah, just let me know if you guys are watching this video later. Feel free to send me an email that you'd be interested. I'm thinking the price point 400 for the quarter, right? That's fair. That's actually undervaluing me. A couple of picks a day. If there's nothing to talk about, then you don't get an idea. I'm not going to waste your time. But lately, there's been something to do every day, and give you a glimpse into what I do all day, because I basically sit here all day. All right. Nice to meet you. And if you are seeing my face for the first time, I didn't mean to scare you, but this is the face of the person. This is the face right here. This guy. I've been trading for 30 years. The word day trading never existed before I started saying it. So if you're actually out there trying to learn how to trade, there's nobody better than myself and my partner, Solid Jello. at the Hit the Bid website. And we let you in. It's a 2-week guaranteed, no strings attached, money back guarantee. All that jazz. All right. Have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll see you soon. No schmoozing next week, and then we'll be back. And I'm going to round up Brian Shannon soon because we're due to have a conversation with the Lord of all VWAP. Good seeing you, my friends. Be good.